Gary Schuette, and Undersheriff Chris Simpson. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing well. Gosh, what a crazy last few weeks it's been, just in general. I know it's always crazy for you guys, but let's start with the storm. What type of impact does that have on you guys? I assume you get a lot of different calls than you normally would during regular times. Talk a little bit about the storm.
Sure. So, like the first night that the storm came in, we were inundated with calls. We had 87 calls just in a 6-hour period, and we were scrambling, going all over the place, trying to make sure that we're cording off areas where there's wires down, and of course trying to block streets off that had trees down over them so cars don't run into them. It was chaos for a little while.
Yeah, it's hard to do in the dark too.
It is very difficult. It is very difficult.
Yeah, you guys probably had your own team with power issues.
Yeah, I was out from, was it Thursday until, early morning Thursday until Sunday night, 7:30. Yeah. So, yeah. Luckily I have a generator. Yeah. But.
Yeah, that's one thing. You know, people have said, oh well, everyone, the important people get their power back. There are consumers, energy executives today still without power.
Talked to one yesterday that didn't have power.
It doesn't matter who you are. It's just
no, I don't think so. Unless you have a friend that's a lineman you used to work with for 30 years. I think that might be the only thing they can get you.
I think our emergency management, for Jackson County did a fantastic job of pushing information out as far as what was coming, when it was coming, and kind of gave everybody in Jackson County that preparation. So, kudos to Jason Brining and his team. They did a fantastic job with that, and we knew it was coming, and it was just a preparation for it, and then obviously responding.
Yeah, they've got incredible calls. People in the worst times of their lives are calling, and they're in panic situation. And it's a lot of juggling that the dispatchers have.
Sure, but Jacksonians are resilient.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been here before, we've done it, and we're through it. And we'll clean up and get some homes repaired, and some vehicles repaired, and cut trees, the whole nine.
Yeah, I was just saying that.
But we always rebound well.
Yeah.
I mean, Jacksonians are and Michiganders for that part, very resilient.
Yeah, I was mentioning earlier, this community is a great place to live in general, but especially during something like this, I mean, friends, neighbors, this community always seems to come together at those times. So, and definitely, I'm sure everyone's seen someone with a chainsaw out helping someone.
Oh yes,
there, for sure.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's people who've opened their showers and living rooms to friends and neighbors.
Oh, I'm sure they have. Yeah, I'm sure they have. Just like the holidays. Mm-hmm. There was the incident across the state a few weeks ago where there was a hoax call into school districts saying that a shooting had already happened. Talk us through. We've heard about the incredible response from all departments. Talk about what goes on during that. There's a lot of moving parts to that as well, and these hoax calls, gosh, they're tough, right, Gary?
They are. I'll take a step back a little bit. We prepare for this.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it's the time that we live in, right? And we had all sorts of different trainings that we went through. We did trainings with local fire departments. We did trainings with all of our local police departments in this area. And then we did our own training. In fact, we were at Luma Christi High School. They allowed us the use of their high school to train specifically for a response to this type of an incident. So we were well prepared for it. You hate to say that you have to prepare for something like this, but it's the time that we live in.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
And it was an all hands on deck call out. So we had 55 police officers there in a very short amount of time. In fact, I know we were there clearing the hallways out before many of the school personnel even knew that it was a hoax call.
That's amazing.
So we had a lot of positive responses from staff at Jackson High School. There's 40 plus entrances and exits from that school. We had all of them covered within 6 minutes.
That's amazing.
So I think that was a fantastic job. In a left-handed way, it was nice because we were able to actually practice it real time.
Right, yeah, amazing.
Real time. Yeah. We had fire on scene that blocked off the streets. We had rescue and ambulance there, ready to respond in the event that, you know, God forbid something had happened. And we had police officers on scene going in, using proper tactics and doing things that they were supposed to do.
Oh, that's
so I know it shook the kids up, and I know it shook the staff up, and that's a shame.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's amazing to hear that response. And, you know, there's a lot of things the community doesn't think about. You think 40 exits to a building need to be covered, manpower. I mean, there's a lot that goes on that the general public just has no idea what's going on, right, Chris?
Absolutely. And the sheriff mentioned it, and you know, we definitely approach it from a proactive standpoint of training, and not just training within law enforcement or first responders, but training with our soft targets, schools, churches, things of that nature. And we tell our school districts, you know, your EAGs or your emergency action guidelines that you have, because every school has protocols on what they're going to do when they lock down or how they lock down. It's important to practice them, rehearse them, and take them serious. We all pray that it never really happens here, but we all know that, you know, it is a possibility.
Is there any way the perpetrators are going to get brought to justice?
It's going to be a difficult task, just because of the fact that there was so many that were done in Michigan. They used a couple of different programs that frankly are difficult for us to trace. But we do have some really good people working on it through the Michigan State Police and the FBI. And they have things that I don't understand. You know, they have magic wands when it comes to the electronic grid and the internet and the informational systems that are out there. So I'm confident that they'll get us in some direction. But when you're really sophisticated and you're pulling off this hoax, you have to wonder, you know, what is the intent behind it? That's the thing that we've been trying to decipher ourselves. You know, what is the end game here? Maybe there's nothing. Maybe it was just a prankster doing this. But we always have to be thinking about what is the potential here? What is the possibility?
It's chaos. So there's people who just want to create chaos and havoc.
I think some people for sure. Michigan State, very close to the situation. Maybe you guys were even involved in some way. Talk a little bit about kind of what happened at Michigan State and just kind of what you guys witnessed.
So interestingly enough, I was in Ann Arbor with my daughter. She goes to the University of Michigan when it all came in. So we had made contact with their command center and offered up our special response team for Jackson County to respond to it. We were informed that they had enough personnel on ground that they didn't need any additional assistance. I personally texted Sheriff Rigglesworth in Ingham County and talked with him about whether or not he needed any additional assistance and told him to let me know if he did. They did not. But we were ready to go. I know a lot of our guys were contacting both myself and other commanders who wanted to go up there and respond and assist, which is very heartening during a circumstance like that. They want to go out there, and that's the kind of police officers that we have in this community. Cool. They want to respond to those kinds of things, and people need to understand that. You know, in this day and age, unfortunately, police get a bad rap for a lot of different reasons. Some of it's earned, right? But the reality of it is 99% of our officers, and I would say in Jackson, dare I say 100%, are ready to serve at a moment's notice and do a fantastic job.
Yeah, I think we're pretty lucky.
I agree.
And you see really, not just in that particular situation, but really on a day-to-day basis, the cooperation, the intergovernmental agency cooperation that we have in Jackson County. A lot of counties don't have that.
Yeah, they don't. As you can see, the response from Michigan State, but before that, you know, first and foremost, you know, my condolences to the families and those who were injured. My daughter just graduated from MSU a couple of years ago, and you know, as they show the pictures of the victim, I mean, I see my daughter in some of those pictures, and I'm very remorseful to those families. But Lansing has a good cooperative law enforcement community with MSU DPS, East Lansing, Lansing PD, MSP, I mean, Ingham County, Eaton County, some of the townships. I mean, they're very blessed to have good law enforcement in that area. And we liken to Jackson just like Lansing area.
A lot of the training that occurs, and it's daily, it's all behind the scenes. The average citizen has no idea the amount and the type of training that you're going through and you're putting people through every day.
Right, yeah, and it's not just that tactical response that you see, it's the tabletop exercises as well, sitting around and talking about what ifs. And those are so important because they allow us to explore the absurd, right? And then formulate a plan in the event that something like that happens. And we get pretty creative when we talk about those types of things, and I think it's very helpful in our responses. And you can see it as it takes place in real time during the training exercises that we do. And of course, we were witnessing it as it happened in real time in Ingham County at Michigan State, and you can tell that they're well prepared as well. I don't know if you had an opportunity to listen to any of the dispatching that was going on, and the dispatcher did an absolutely fantastic job too. So obviously they're well greased for this type of an emergency.
Well, I want to thank you both for all you do in the community, and especially for taking time today to talk to the people in our community. We certainly appreciate it.
No, anytime.
Anytime. We'd be happy to come back anytime you would like.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Our Sheriff, Gary Schuette, and Undersheriff, Chris Simpson. More of the morning show right after this quick break.